Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda, and please welcome to our Operation Freedom platform, WeThePeopleProcessing.com. You know, are you tired of being threatened to be canceled just because you have a company focused on liberty and freedom? Well, worry no more, folks. WeThePeopleProcessing.com is your go-to merchant services, freedom-based company to provide business service payment solutions. We the People Processing provides their clients a cancel culture-free platform which is domestically based. They provide competitive rates, no contracts with next-day funding, a fully vetted and like-minded financial infrastructure, and full support for integrations, implementation, and e-commerce efforts. Bottom line, WeThePeopleProcessing.com focuses on defending your company's free market growth, values, and future. Check them out at www.WeThePeopleProcessing.com. Once you're on the site, enter in password Operation Freedom or call 855-499-2024. That's WeThePeopleProcessing.com. Then, when on the website, enter Operation Freedom as your password or call 855-499-2024.
Mr. President-elect,
go ahead.
Can you say
Asking a
categorically,
question.
Mr. President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to Dave Vs The MSM. Today's topic is the globalist frauds. This is something that we've been speaking about since the inception of my radio show Operation Freedom 10 3/4 years ago. When we first started speaking about this, and in particular, we started our focus on players within our own government, in all agencies, at all levels. Many people talk about the senior executive service level being a beehive of activity for the globalist syndicate. It is. But it's not just at the senior executive service level. It goes all the way to the, head of the fish, to the tail of the fish. In addition, we spoke about the tentacles of the deep state, the globalist syndicate, the New World Order crowd, the criminal international banking syndicate, whatever you want to call it. And one of its tentacles is what I call the bought-off lamestream fake media. Now, people outside that window in the People's Republic of Ann Arbor at the time said, you're being too hard on the media. There are some people in the media that are questionable, but not the entirety of mainstream media. Well, many of those people that criticized me and demonized me for picking on the innocent media that's serving the public have since come to me and said, you started shooting your mouth off about this when you first got on the radio 10 and a half years ago, and you haven't stopped. And I really thought you were off, but in fact, you're right. And I can't think of a better example to drill this point home than something that, was just reported on by an truly independent journalist, Glenn Greenwald. Glenn Greenwald said the following. A court ruled Rachel Maddow's viewers, again, People's Republic of Ann Arbor, MAC, it's wonderful. That Rachel Maddow she's so insightful. Yeah, insightful. Globalist tool. A court ruled Rachel Maddow's viewers know she offers exaggeration in opinion and not facts. I kid you not. Well, you didn't hear about this on MSNBC, of course not. You didn't hear about this on Fox, right? No, of course not. No. Rupert Murdoch's too busy calling his kid to shut down Arizona in November and all kinds of other situations, right? Right. Just look at the Murdochs. They sit on the Council on Foreign Relations. I've told you this for years. You shouldn't be so hard on Fox. Stop it. They're part of the problem. They're not part of the answer. They sit on the board of the Council on Foreign Relations, for goodness sakes. That's all you need to know. MSNBC's top-rated host, Rachel Maddow, devoted a segment in 2019 to accusing the right-wing cable outlet One American News of being paid propaganda outlet for the Kremlin. Discussing a Daily Beast article which noted that one OAN reporter was a, quote, Russian national, end quote, who was simultaneously writing copy for the Russian-owned outlet Sputnik on a freelance contract, Maddow escalated the allegation greatly into a broad claim about OAN's real identity and purpose. Quote, in this case, she announced, quote, the most pro-Trump right-wing news outlet in America really literally is paid Russian propaganda, end quote. In response, OAN sued Maddow. Rightfully so. Sued MSNBC and its parent corporation Comcast for defamation, alleging that it was demonstrably false that the network, in Maddow's words, quote, literally is paid Russian propaganda, end quote. In an oddly overlooked ruling, an Obama-appointed federal judge, Cynthia Bashant, dismissed the lawsuit on the grounds that, ready now, listen, even Maddow's own audience understands that her show consists of exaggeration, hyperbole, and pure opinion, and therefore would not assume that such outlandish accusations are factually true, even when she uses the language of certainty and truth when presenting them. As I said, the bought-off lamestream fake media, of which Rachel Maddow is just one of the poster children. In concluding that Maddow's statement would be understood even by her own viewers as non-factual, the judge emphasized that what Maddow does in general is not present news, but rather presents hyperbole and exploitation of actual news to serve her liberal activism. In sum, ruled the court, Rachel Maddow is among those, quote, speakers whose statements cannot reasonably be interpreted as allegations of fact, end quote. And there are still people that wonder, why do you call these people the bought-off lamestream fake media? They're just doing their job as journalists. No. No. They're closer to members of the oldest profession on earth, that walk the streets, than they are serving a public good as journalists. Speaking of other globalist frauds, for over 10 and a half years, here's the other thing. You just dissect Democrats. Stop the right-left thing. For 10 and a half years, I have told you there is one political party in Washington and around the country. They're called the Republicrats. They're all owned and operated by a criminal syndicate. Call it what you want. The deep state, the New World Order crowd, the criminal international banking syndicate, the globalist syndicate, whatever you want. And stop this R versus D thing. That is meant to divide and conquer. That's meant to put people at each other's throats so you don't really get what they're doing. They're all working for the same boss, right? When I first went on air with Operation Freedom with the radio show in October of 2010, I said the following. My experience in Washington taught me that the day Ronald Reagan left office in January of 1989, our modern-day country changed because every person who occupied that office between 1989 and 2010, when I made the statement, was owned and operated by the globalist syndicate. And people came after me, said, maybe Clinton I can get, and maybe, but But wait, are you saying George H.W. Bush? Are you saying that George W. Bush? Are you? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whether it's George H.W. Bush or George W. Bush or Bill Clinton or Barack Obama, yeah, they're all owned and operated by the same criminal syndicate. And remember, as we have dissected, that China and communist China came into huge fruition through the globalist syndicate. When they got done funding those folks over in Germany in the 1940s, they immediately shifted their assets to build the technocracy of China that we've all been experiencing for, well, hasn't that been special the past year and a half? China, the pet rat that they created, Year of the Rat, was China. So let's put a little cherry on top of the ice cream here, the sundae, huh? Report. Oh, we've all heard about Biden's ties to China. Yeah, I don't think that's fraudulent. It's true. And Obama's and Clinton's and Bush Foundation, bankrolled by Chinese Communist Party linked firm. Shocking? Not to this guy, and hopefully not to you, because you've been listening to what we've been saying since 2010. From John Binder at Breitbart, a foundation started by the late President George H.W. Bush's son, Neil Bush. Remember Neil Bush? He was the guy who was involved in the savings and loan scandal that cost our country billions, many billions of dollars. Yeah, that guy. Bearing his name, is being bankrolled by a firm linked to China's communist government, known officially as the Communist Party of China. A report by Axios, no less, revealed the George H.W. Bush Foundation for U.S.-China Relations. Remember, in addition to Old Man Bush being the director of the CIA, and also an ambassador to China, kind of setting the table there, right? Yeah, George H.W. Bush Foundation for U.S.-China Relations, chaired and founded by Neil Bush in 2017, is raking in a $5 million grant from 2019 to 2023 from the China-United States Exchange Foundation, which has ties to China's communist government. Now look, this should not surprise anybody. As I've outlined, in 1992, George H.W. Bush, who, by the way, on many occasions spoke about the New World Order and how wonderful it was and is. George H.W. Bush brought Agenda 21 to our shores. Now, if you don't know what Agenda 21 is, we've been talking about that for 10 and a half years. And there's a follow-up to it, Agenda 2030. But in a nutshell, it's about stripping you and every person in this country and, frankly, around the world of their freedoms and their liberties and their wealth. And their property. And while we're talking about China, we all know that on Hunter's laptop, can't talk, be careful about what you say about that, right? We talked about that for months before November 2020. And then when the bought-off lamestream fake media started to dribble some information out in February and March of this year, April, people out there, I didn't know about that. If I would have known about that laptop, I don't think I could have. Ties to China, $1.5 billion. The Biden family had business with China, and quote, big guy, according to the emails, was getting 10%. What? If I knew that, I don't think I just would have sat out the whole thing, that whole goat rodeo in November of 2020. So now we got the Biden family out there saying, climate change, global warming is the single most detrimental thing to the planet and our country, and it's a number one security risk. And environmentalism is the Green New Deal and environment. Hunter Biden invested millions in Chinese nuclear plant operator that has vented dangerous buildup of gases. Hunter Biden's private equity firm invested millions of dollars in a Chinese state-owned nuclear power plant operator whose French partner warned the White House recently that the Taishan nuclear power plant in Guangdong province was in danger of a, quote, imminent radiological threat, end quote, due to a buildup of noble gases in the cooling system of one of the facility's 2 reactors, according to the National Pulse. Goes on, this incident has been downplayed by the Biden administration. Shocking? Not. They're all frauds. And frankly, they're not just frauds. They're selling you out. They're selling you out. Whether they have Bush's name, Obama's last name, Clinton's last name, Pelosi's last name, Romney's last name, Ryan's last name, you name the political hack, McConnell, they're all selling you out. And your freedoms, and your liberties, and your future. That's not being negative, it's just being truthful. We can only go so far on this platform. Here on YouTube. You can't go very deep on an issue. And this is what we do at davejanda.com. We give you the rest of the story. And it's information you need to know. Because if you have information, you can put up roadblocks, if you will, in blocking them from stealing your remaining freedoms and liberties and whatever resources you've been able to accumulate. That's what we do. That's why they despise us. We hope you'll become part of our freedom family. Extra shows, extra content, all the archives to all of our shows, extra analysis you will not get any other place because I only do it on my platform. Because I know it's secure, it's protected, and that it will not be misappropriated, the information. Period. That's the public service we provide at an incredibly reasonable price. $9 a month. Stop your cable bill. I just saved you over $100 a month. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big, dare to fail. Thanks for your time today.